everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and other things. My name is Oscar B, one of your hosts today. And with me, per usual, are two of your other hosts. We got Alex, LeBron, also known as the dad, and Brian. He's back. Brian, the back, the beard, new reliable, and the Spider-Man villain, Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z Redemption arc. He is back from the dead. I don't know.
Maybe. I died. I rose. I died again.
I don't know how long you've been gone. You've been gone.
It feels like it. Just life has just kept happening over and over again. But I've made it. I exist.
But Brian is here, and we're happy to have you back, bud.
I thought you called me Brian the Black for a second, and I was like, "Is that
Brian the Black?" But
at the same time, it does sound kind of cool, so I'm not that mad at it.
The alliteration makes it passable.
No. But yeah, listeners, we may have Devin show up a little later in the show. We'll see. But for now, it is the three of us. But we got a big show, so we got to move along, guys. Should we hop into our first segment of the week?
Let's go.
Do it.
News talk.
First piece of news. Sony and PlayStation had a state of play for last week, the last day of May, where they announced some stuff. They showed off some new stuff. I think it was all new. Maybe some old stuff, actually. Yeah, some old stuff we haven't talked about. We're not going to talk about it at all because, quite honestly, it was fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure there are people that really loved it. I'm sure people that hated it. For me, I was just like, cool. I was kind of taking a nap throughout it. But, so we'll just hit some highlights. The first, at least for me, and most important is, we're finally getting another Dynasty Warriors game, guys. Let's all be happy about this together.
I am so curious on how big the fan base is for Dynasty Warriors. Because
Dynasty Warriors Origins is crazy.
It is that big.
The only person I know that likes that game, other than me and my cousin when we were 8, is you.
And I think that's true for everybody.
I just can't believe
9 or 10. I was like, I don't think this is fun anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I've played the last 2. I don't know I think the last one I might have gotten was 8. 7
last
or 8.
few, that's 8.
And I think they're on.
What number is this one?
I think this is 11.
Oh my god!
But they're not calling it 11, so obviously, because look,
Origins.
this one looks a little different. It looks like you're playing one character, which I'm assuming you're going to be able to customize as your own type of blah blah blah.
I don't want that.
So
I want to be Wong Bu or whatever his name is.
No, Lubu.
Lubu, yeah, fucking Lubu is my guy.
Yeah, I'm because I think the last Dynasty Warriors games, I'm pretty sure were really bad. This one
just the
will
last
probably
ones?
Potentially be the same. Potentially still also be bad. But I'm just glad that this franchise is living on in this very weird niche group that
It's gotta be either that or like Japan really fucks with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not mad at them. It does like seem like a good time if you could just like hit that off switch in your brain for a few hours, like just smashing a bunch of people's heads in.
It's like an arcade game. It's just like it's good for like a half hour. All right, that was good. That was fun. I conquered all of China in this universe.
Half hour, like God intended.
But yeah, so that was hilarious. I can't believe it. I don't know what this means, but 2025. Why? I don't know why that's going to take them that long, but okay, go for it. What else was there, guys? Should we talk about the Silent Hill 2 remake real quick?
Of course we should. People love Silent Hill 2. That is like a favorite of everybody. I don't personally care too much about the Silent Hill games. They're kind of... I played 4, I think, number 4, and that one was pretty brain fucky. But Silent Hill 2 is like the game that everyone talks about.
I haven't played any of them. I'm not big on scary games.
Yeah, these ones are a little bit more interesting because unlike Resident Evil, they weren't as combat focused, which I think a lot of people liked more about them. So if you're a little too scared to react to your fear, at least in that way, this one was probably more of your speed.
That sounds scarier. You can't shoot the ghost. You
do a lot of fucking running.
Yeah,
he did a lot of running away. I don't have strong enough feelings about it. I was actually kind of disappointed in how it looks.
Look, I will say, because we were on the same boat where the first time they showed it off, we were like, this looks bad. Yeah. This gameplay I thought looked better than it did before, which obviously it should. But I'm still just like,
it looks very PS4. Looking at it now.
Yeah, maybe
like
PS3.
I think like the main character looks good, but them enemies look like they look like PS3 characters.
Right.
Why do they look so low res?
I'm like, I don't know if it's an art style choice or what. Just after seeing Resident Evil 4 remake and how much like love and care they put into that game looked phenomenal to the point that it was trying to win awards as if it was its own game and not a remake for the 5th time. And then they showed me this, which I was expecting like, something similar. Maybe not as good because I doubt they have as much money as that team does, but like, what the fuck? And maybe that doesn't matter to people. I mean, the graphics obviously aren't everything. They don't matter all to me either, but I was just kind of like, oh.
But I even think like
that's what took so long.
Combat looked a little fine.
And that's interesting too, because that's what I was kind of saying about how it wasn't a very combat focused game. It looks like they're making it a little more combat focused. And I wonder if that's going to upset people if they got to, do more Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8 style playing as opposed to more like puzzle solving. So.
Right. Yeah. So I'm sure this game will do well either way. And they also they did a little Konami did a little Silent Hill transmission, like their own separate thing right after this state of play where they showed like 15 minutes of gameplay. And again, it's fine. It's better than what it looked like before, but it's like you said, it's no Resident Evil 4. It's tough to right at the year after that comes out to be like, hey, look at this. Very similar genre, very similar looking white man as your lead character.
Yeah, he does look like the same guy.
It's just
that haircut goes crazy.
That's tough.
It looks a little heavy rainish, and maybe that's what's disappointing.
Yeah, it does.
The characters aren't just like low quality or whatever. They're just kind of ugly, and it's like, why are the characters ugly? I don't know. It's fine. I still want to come to PC someday, and then maybe I'll actually play it. I did say I'm going to play the Resident Evil remakes someday. I still haven't yet. They're on Game Pass now. I played Resident Evil 8. I'm getting past my fear of scary games, so it's on the list.
I just want them to remake 1. I want to start at 1.
That's fair.
And they refuse to do it.
I don't think anybody liked 1. That's why. I don't think it's a very good game.
But and then at least for me, the last thing we can go back and if you guys have anything else, they're making a new Astro Bot game. I'm very excited for this only because when you get the PS5, it comes pre-programmed with a very short little. What was when it originally came out was like a demo of like how the console and the controller works, and like they wanted to show off like the haptic feedback and stuff. And it was a little Astro Bot game. It was very short. And it was really cool because it all took place within the PS5. Like they created a PS5, so like one level took place in the GPU, one level took place in the fucking the hard drive, the solid state drive, shit like that. And then there was a bunch of like PlayStation like Easter eggs and stuff throughout, and it was actually like really fun. And so to see them kind of finally make like a full-fledged game like this, I think a lot of people would ask about. I'm actually very excited. This looks very fun.
And it looks.
Will
like
it be free? Will it be $70? I will not get that.
if it's $70, and that's really disrespectful, considering it's like a mascot character for whatever the fuck. But it looks a lot more fleshed out than I expected, and I think that's really funny because like, who the fuck cares? At least that's how I feel.
I know.
I guess maybe I'm not a big enough PlayStation fanboy to be like, oh, did you see Astro Bot? No, who? What? Why is this here?
I also heard again. It is a weird niche thing because I think there was I think it was called Astrobot Rescue Mission or something like that. But it was a VR only game, I think. So, but people apparently loved it. But again, who the fuck played it? So I think it had a weird niche culture behind it, anyways. But still very fun. I don't know what else you guys want to hit on.
I got God of War Ragnarok on PC.
Buddy.
People complained a lot about that because they said that a lot of this was just you telling that a game was going to be on a different platform than a platform it was already on. I was like, ooh, they're right. But I don't care. Yeah. I have a PC. I don't have a PlayStation, which kind of goes to my next little rant that I am really glad I didn't buy one. Any game that I could possibly be interested in on PlayStation comes to PC now. So I just really don't.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I'm happy for it. So you should be able to play games the way that you want. But it's kind of like, damn, our exclusive just kind of gone because I have not missed not having a PlayStation the same way that I felt like I did a PlayStation 4. So
damn,
yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
As a non PS5 owner, I'm taking notes.
I'm just saying. A lot of people got a new PC this year. I'm just saying. Also, there was Concord. Is one of those games that seems like it'd be really great if it wasn't multiplayer. Was super interested in those characters. Super interested in that world.
This is the thing I hate about all of these games. I don't care about these dope CG story cutscenes when the gameplay is just 5-on-5 people calling each other slurs and yelling at each other for 30 minutes.
Because you know that's what the game is going to be. Yeah, I don't know why. And I think it might be a development cycle thing. I guess we'll see when these games actually come out. It's really weird that we're making hero shooters still in 2024. Like, that's such an old, burnout genre now. And I thought we kind of learned from that. And it seems like we haven't. So, Overwatch 2 was a colossal flop. I don't know if everybody knows that, but it did pretty badly. So,
hear about that.
Yeah, and also a few other games. The Gundam Wing game came out that was a hero shooter, and that died completely. They shouldn't do this again.
Like, if you're gonna, I don't even know how you like make it work, because obviously, like, trying to put like a story behind it doesn't quite work in multiplayer games.
And they're trying. Like, they said they're gonna release story beats weekly. It's going to be full live stories.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Halo tried the same thing.
You will run out of time and story, and that's when your game will die.
Weekly
is actually fun.
It's always way too ridiculous of like a promise, and weekly is a crazy promise. Maybe monthly. Weekly is too frequent. They're not going to keep up with that. Much. You hate your development team.
Unless you've banked like 6 months worth of stuff, I don't know.
Even then, that's only 6 months. Fortnite's been doing this shit for how many years?
That's what I'm saying. Like, eventually, it will die very quickly. That's, or your story's gonna end up being it's like a text box when you first boot up the game, and then people are gonna be like, "What the fuck am I playing this for still?"
That's what I imagine is gonna end up happening for sure.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna play it.
Damn, I'll play. Oh, it's not free. Ooh, I'll see you.
Oh, then I'm definitely not gonna play it. Yeah, definitely not gonna play it. Sorry. Let's look very quickly. Marvel Rivals, is that free? Is that gonna be free? I think that's free, right?
I believe that one's free. I believe.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's been an alpha or beta, something like that.
Yeah. So it
better be
I don't have any real expectation on when or if I'm ever going to play this game in particular, but I do think it looks kind of cool. I haven't played any hero shooter like we're talking about. This does look like an Overwatch clone. I never played Overwatch, but Overwatch in particular always looked really fun to me. And taking that game and putting it over top of Marvel Heroes, in theory, sounds like a cool idea. It does look like a pretty much exact rip-off, but I don't know, something about it.
Some of those maps look like the exact same map, and that is kind of...
Oh, right. That's
they're gonna have some explaining to do for some of this stuff, for sure.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I like the way it looks. Granted, it definitely looks like Overwatch, but with Marvel characters. But if it's fun, go for it. I probably, again... This isn't my genre, so I'm probably never gonna play.
That's fair. I'm gonna give it a try if I can. I haven't gone out of my way. There's been like betas that have happened not that long ago, and I haven't even like attempted to get into them. But if it comes out, I'll play it for a day, and if it sucks, that'll be the last day I play it. that'll
be it. Fair enough. That's it for me, at least for the state of play stuff. Monster Hunter fans, I'm sure you're very excited about this game. I've never played a Monster Hunter game. I hear they're fun.
Oh, and Path of Exile 2. In case you don't like Diablo or you do like Diablo, you got more of it, but even scarier. Boom.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. As soon as I saw it start playing, I was like, I don't know what.
It's just an action RPG. Is all it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just. People really like that game, but yeah.
Right.
I haven't heard of.
They also they showed some like cool like Dark Souls-y-esque type of games in there. There's one called Where Winds Meet and also Ballad of Antara. They both look art style, like they look very cool, like character wise, and it's very interesting. But I bet you they're gonna be real hard and real weird.
I'll pass.
But, yeah, very cool. So that is the PlayStation State of Play, and I think we can move on to our next piece of news. But wait, a new challenger approaches.
Uh-oh.
His name is Devin, but we can't let him speak because we have to clap sync.
What's up, Devin?
Hello, Devin.
What up?
Hello. I was here the whole time. I just had absolutely nothing to say. So I'm just kidding. I'm here late.
No, it's all good. You're here earlier than
depending on your perspective.
So, yeah, I was going to say
right on time.
Exactly. We're all here. Look at that. It's been 2 years, but we're here. All...
Once a blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yes, Devin, here's the time we're about to hit up next piece of quick news. We've talked about in the past about Giancarlo Esposito is joining the MCU. He wanted to be Professor X. It wasn't going to happen. But now we've learned he's in the MCU. We didn't know what role he was playing. Now we know what movie he's in. It's Captain America, Brave New World, the Anthony Mackie Captain America movie. He was playing a villain of some kind, but he's also said in the past that this villain will get a series, and I don't know what the fuck that means.
Interesting.
A Captain America villain?
I remember we talked about this last week, Oscar. I didn't expect Captain America.
Me either.
Also, is this the first Captain America film with Anthony Mackie?
It will be.
Yeah.
The last one.
It's been
he was in a movie. Oh,
8 years.
He was in a TV show.
Yeah. Winter Soldier is when he became Cap.
Gotcha. Which probably was supposed to be the movie, but
it would have been better as a movie for sure. Yeah,
I think I agree.
It definitely would have.
I mean, do you think they're gonna make him like some kind of like like he always plays, like just like a shady government finance guy, kind of like just very
honestly
much worldly
the
character?
one character, the name that I keep here floating around, absolutely yes, because the name I hear is he could be playing William Stryker, which was the guy who headed up the Weapon X program that gave
X-Men
Wolverine his claws. Maybe they slowly introduce more X-Men stuff. I could see him being that kind of guy, but that's kind of boring.
That's what I was gonna say. That'd be kind of a waste of him.
That's kind of what I'm saying, yeah. Because we've seen him in that role so many times. Like, I'd kind of rather see him as.
Because I could see them. Because what throws me off is him saying the character will get a series, and that's the only reason I think is like what they do that, and then they show a series of him doing these weird experiments. I like that. I don't really want that.
I hate it here.
Whatever he is going to be, I'm sure he's going to bring in, like, if he is Stryker, like, I'm sure that's going to be like one of the best strikers like we'll ever be able to see.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how accurate that is though, because after I read something that Bob Iger at an investor call was like, we got to do less, like quality over quantity. So maybe they're going to scale back some of these shows.
Yeah, so I don't know. He also could just be completely fucking with us. And who knows? Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. This movie, I really hope this movie's good, but they're doing reshoots. They're doing a lot of stuff in this movie.
Let him get him out of a suit. I don't want to see him in a suit. He's got to put some leather on him at some point.
He's going to be in a suit.
That's crazy.
Put him in the spandex.
Give
him the cape again.
Yellow spandex.
All right. Let's move on because we're taking a long time. So, but to do that, we have to move into the trailer park. So let's go.
Mom's Pacetti.
Oh, I haven't done this in a while.
It's been a minute. All righty.
That's all I got for you.
Yes, we're in the trailer park, listeners. First trailer's actually a teaser for the week. It is for Moana 2, a movie that no one knew that they were making, and then they were like, "Hey, guess what? It's coming out now."
Oh, that's. I thought it was just me. I was like, oh, I guess I'm out of the. I'm really
no. They literally.
I'm pretty much out of the loop.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, which kind of worries me. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they've just kept this very on the down low. It's a little odd. But it still looks pretty. And
it does look pretty.
They brought back The Rock and I can't remember what her name is, the actor who played Moana. They're back. And it still looks good.
Very charming.
I know Lin-Manuel for the music, so who knows?
We just need some good songs. What's the story going to be? What's Moana coming back for?
She's going to expand. She's going to find a new land because that's what they always do.
Exploring.
That's what it always is.
Yeah, it looks pretty much like right after more or less the first film.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
do people care about Moana anymore? I feel like this has come out at a weird time with a weird marketing. I don't know.
Yeah. Also the people are kind of weird about The Rock now. I don't know. It's weird.
Never mind. We can get into that later. What happened to The Rock? I didn't know there were people that he's a walking billboard, but I didn't know that he had some.
Yeah, he's apparently done some. He's apparently done some weird stuff on his most recent movie or whatever.
Oh, great. Love that.
Not. He's just seemingly an asshole.
Okay, so he's not doing some Drake Diddy stuff.
Allegedly.
Okay.
No, God, no. Jesus.
He was one of the people that I was hoping nothing would ever come out about, but eventually all that power.
No, I think it's just like he's just kind of. I mean, it's the same thing like where you hear about him and Vin Diesel feuding because they both are just they're too alpha for each other and some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, The Rock during one of the movies, again, all alleged. You can look this up, listeners. He would like arrived at the set like hours late. He's cost whatever movie on Netflix or whatever they're working on like millions and millions of dollars because he's just very unprofessional, all allegedly. He peed in bottles and had people because he never wanted to leave the set, so he just peed in the corner in bottles or some shit. I don't know.
That's wild.
I don't know.
Why be so try hard and then not try hard by being on time?
I don't know.
Like that's such a
Why be so try hard and then make a terrible fucking movie?
Day.
That's such a try hard move to then be 3 hours late. Makes no sense. But that's what he called Vin Diesel out for on Fast Five.
The thing I'm more upset about is peeing in bottles. Like why? There's got to be a bathroom close by.
Because some PA had to fucking throw that away.
Yeah, nah, man.
Honestly, it's a power move, dude. It's like a power move. Like
hold my bottle.
I heard Beyonce
I'll
at a
need that
concert
again.
one time would not perform because they didn't replace like the toilet paper in the bathroom with like this like red velvet toilet that she likes. So she just didn't sing.
Hate rich people.
But that's once you get to that level, your logic starts changing. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
we gotta start beating people up more. We gotta bring it back.
Oh wow!
All right, but
anyways,
maybe take the Rock. Nah, maybe not.
No, we couldn't. We would all die.
He's probably
we would all die.
We gotta tranquilize that man like a fucking elephant.
Yeah.
And how many rounds of ketamine would that take? I got 5 darts. We'll use all of them.
Yeah, we gotta get some horse.
So we're all very excited to see Moana 2 for sure.
yeah.
I mean,
next.
Yeah.
This actually I think just came out today. We got the first trailer for Venom: The Last Dance, the third Venom movie, which is a sentence I never thought I would say in my entire life.
That's crazy. I didn't know about this either, actually.
What? We knew this. They were making it, but it's still a shock to me
give up,
that
bro. Give up. Why are they still doing this shit?
It looks stupid. I kind of, and I mean that in a positive way. It looks so fucking stupid. Yes.
Silly.
Wasn't the Hummer one supposed to come out at some point?
Oh god,
that's coming out. I think this year.
I hope not. I hope they just kind of hope we forgot about it and just swept that one under the rug. We don't need Craven.
They should. They should. They need to take an L after Madam Web. That was cinematic malpractice. I'll say that till I die. Like,
but this one, there's something with this one that I think they might be cooking. Tom Hardy is good at this character. He shouldn't be.
He's just
when you got Tom Hardy, it's going to be at least
guy.
Decent.
Mm.
I don't know.
I still have not seen one Venom movie.
They're not worth it.
You should watch the first one. The second one is just the first one, but slightly worse.
But redder.
Yeah, and then I don't know what this one's gonna
wetter?
be.
More wet.
Redder because he fights Carnage, who's a red Venom.
Oh,
that's it. That's
like they made Venom more gooey.
Venom looks a little wetter, probably.
He does get pretty sweaty in these movies, so you might be able to
he's a little grimy.
It's Venom with just the water.
The one thing I will say that I think this movie is once again Sony gonna try to ruin the MCU is. Do you guys remember at the end of Spider-Man: No Way Home where there was that little Venom teaser?
Oh,
it looks like they're going back to that in this trailer because you see Homeboy, the bartender, and they're pointing at the Venom on the counter. I was like, is that from the MCU? Because we never knew. Because Venom left that bar. It don't matter. They're gonna fuck everything up. It doesn't matter. Sony doesn't know what they're doing.
They're just
yeah. That's gonna amount to nothing.
Give it up.
Make Madam Web 2.
Not happening.
Okay.
Nobody cares. Like, can you imagine if they actually land this plane? Say they go through this process that they're trying to make, and then they actually make a movie with like Morbius and Hunter and Venom.
I hope so.
Would we care?
I want to see them do it.
Wow, is that gonna,
I want to see them do it.
They need. That's what they're trying
I want
to
to see them
crazy.
But like, would we care enough? Because nobody has seen the first movie.
Okay, wait. What if they did that?
Well, that's
what if they brought they got Morbius, Madam Web, Venom, fucking Craven that we haven't seen yet. What if they do put him in the movie, and at the end they kill Tom Holland's
Just a Suicide Squad for Tom Holland.
I mean, that would be actually worth seeing. That would be something new and refreshing. But like, I just don't think why waste our time with all these individual ones. Just skip straight to the one. Just put them all in the one. That's what.
Only if Dakota
Johnson's
also there.
Yeah, they'll never learn.
Yeah, they're never putting out those characters together because those characters don't belong together.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
That sounds like a mess.
Nobody go for the first month this movie's out, and then when they take it out theaters, everybody tell them we'll go see it, and we were just busy. and then we'll.
You're acting as if I'm going to the movies to see this movie at all.
We'll have them re-release it, and then we'll also not go again when they re-release it.
The only reason I saw Madam Web was because you and Brian had already seen it. I was like, "Fuck, I guess I have to go see that movie."
You guys are crazy mad. I was so mad. God, that was a waste of money.
I thought it was gonna be stupid bad and like funny bad, and then it was boring bad, and that was the worst money.
It wasn't even that.
Hear me out. I think all of the audience of America should get together, and we should sue them for making that movie because that was malpractice. Like that was a movie put out in bad faith. And they knew it was bad. They should not have put it out. Like, we deserve our money back.
I think it's on you. Like, you spent your money. Like, you saw, you knew, you should have known better.
I hate capitalism.
No, because the marketing was like not terrible.
So, I don't know if I can trust your opinions anymore, Devin. After that sentence,
I'm just saying it's time to hold these studios accountable. There's no excuse. Like, there's enough quality writers out there. There's no excuse.
This is true.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. All right, but anyways, we got to move on. Yeah, Tomb Raider got the anime. It got announced. We can skip this. It looks cool. Netflix, keep doing animation. It's what you're good at. Keep doing it.
Even if it's the same animation over and over again.
I don't care. It's better than what the fucking. I don't want to watch The Rock in Red 2 or whatever. Yeah, looks great. I love Haley Atwell. She's the voice of Lara Croft, and apparently and I forgot about this. This takes place after the video game trilogy, the most recent one. So
nice.
Pretty cool. Anyways, that's it. That's the trailer park, which means that is the news. Guys, we've done it. Shall we now move into our main topic of the week?
Or should we do it? Because that would be
and by that,
the main quest.
Oh,
maybe we need to go do some other stuff first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you and end this quest now. This quest line ends now. I failed it. I don't care.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, guys. But in order to progress into our main topic of the week, we are trapped in yet another fortress. Though this is a fortress where, man, how do you describe this? It can be very long. It could be very short. It all depends on which way you go. Because we're in the fortress of, I don't know what the fuck we're calling this.
Side quests.
Side quests. Yeah, listeners.
100%
we're going to be chatting, side quests. They're a big staple of gaming, and we all love games here. But there are many different kinds of side quests. There are many different type of things. And Alex, since you are the man with the plan, why don't you get us going?
Yeah, I prepared a little intro statement. So, side quests, they could be defined as an optional mission that is not a part of the main storyline. It usually offers some sort of bonus incentives for players to complete, like character experience, rare items, and sometimes juicy background lore. But what really makes a side quest? And what or who defines what the main story is? Is it the developers, the player, the characters within the game? What do franchises like Bethesda games, the Witcher series, newer Zelda titles, and even Mass Effect all have in common? They're all synonymous for having timeless and arguably the best side quests in games, keeping us distracted from the main story while offering the best rewards, deeper character development, and extensive world building that keeps us wanting more. We spend hours, sometimes days in side quests, and in a lot of ways, they're way more fun and rewarding than the main story. What would games be without side quests? So, if side quests are missions that are different from the main story in games, that made me think, what might define a side versus a main quest in our real lives? What is our main purpose, our main goal? To live, to survive, reproduce, create? And what does that mean our side quests are? Would side quests be our hobbies, our interests, passions? That might be an easy answer, but in a lot of ways, all those side interests are what really define us as individuals and make life truly worth living. And I think that's what makes side quests in games so great, because they help us define the meaning of life.
Oh, well, damn.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, bro.
And sometimes it's just because I wanted that one piece of gear.
One piece of gear. Climbing the mountain for 12 days until you get there.
Yeah. Going all the way out, swimming all the way out in the water to get a chest like in the Witcher. You just gotta get all the way to the sunken chest.
But there's lots of different kinds of side quests. I think first we could start off by just talking about some of the best and worst different types of side quests there are.
Ooh.
Okay, do we want to throw out the worst first? Because it's easily fetch quests.
I was about to say, I hate me a fetch quest. If anybody's ever played any of the older RPGs.
Wait. What's worse, a fetch quest or an escort mission?
Escort. No question.
Yeah. That's tough.
Because I can do it in my own amount of time if I do a fetch quest, and I can usually do that quickly, where escort quest is going to take a certain amount of time no matter what.
I think I agree with that.
Also, escort missions are usually tied to the main, so if you're trying to finish the game, you kind of can't avoid them. But if you can not do fetch quests if you don't want to.
But Cindy said I had to kill 10 boars.
Man, play Final Fantasy Rebirth. There are some side fucking escort missions in that.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot in that one. I bet there's a lot going on. For sure.
Those games love fluff for sure. They definitely didn't get rid of that in the newer versions of those games.
So another this might be controversial for the four of us, but another one that I particularly don't love are the collectathon version of side quests.
Oh yeah, we got to get all of one thing.
Yeah, collect 1,000 of these little ribbons, and you get a trophy.
Yeah.
So you just hate Legend of Zelda, is what you're saying? I feel like that's what a lot of that game is.
Dude, Zelda hates you.
I think personally for me, Zelda does their version of collectathons the best. There's only one thing in the game that you can collect 100 of, or however many there are of. And whenever you do collect, like, and a lot of these games, it's like a cool little thing that you get in game, in addition to like a PlayStation trophy or whatever.
Man, I know you're not talking about the Korok seeds.
If you get all the Korok seeds in the Breath of the Wild, I don't know if Devin, how adventurous you are in the Korok seeds. First of all, they're like a little puzzle every time, so it's kind of a fun little mini game. And if you happen to find every single one, Devin, do you know what happens? Do you know what you get as your reward?
Yeah, a pile of shit.
I just think that's hilarious. I think that's so funny.
I feel like I saw it on YouTube or something. I was like, man, that frees me up. But
it's like, congratulations, you wasted your time. Here's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Really funny.
How many of them are there? Like 600 something?
I don't know. Too many.
That,
I definitely do find, like, go out of my way to get them because I think they're fun. They're cute. Oh, God. And as when you get a bunch of them, you can like expand your inventory, which is really important.
That's true.
But the game, the game stops
your
inventory
do something
after a certain
then,
amount.
I guess.
There's like 100 more that don't do anything that you can get. Yeah. So it's like you really don't need to get all of this.
Yeah, it's really funny actually. I actually kind of love that.
I hate
that.
Right.
Well, just those kind of things in general, and in side quests in general. I think when I was younger, I definitely would go for like completionist mentality of like, I gotta hit every single thing before I got, like, I would do the story in phases, right? You could do everything you can do now on the side and then move the story forward and then do everything on the side again. And then, so that, you know, you're very disconnected from the main story. Sometimes you really forget what's going on, but which is kind of funny because in a lot of main stories, it's like, man, this is really urgent. We got to go now. Like the enemy is about to get the sacred book. And you're like, yeah, but like, I'll just be fucking around for about in game time about a year before
and that's kind of
that next one.
My struggle, which is funny that you kind of bring that up. I not to get too off topic about it, but one thing about side quests for me is sometimes I don't like when games make it so it doesn't feel natural to do side quests. Final Fantasy VII and Rebirth specifically, it's like, yeah, you probably have a lot of downtime when you're trying to figure out where the fuck Sephiroth went and what you're going to do with him. So it might make sense that you go to the pool and hang out for a few hours when you're doing things like that. But I noticed I've been playing Cyberpunk not that long ago. And a lot of the times the quest would be like, okay, this bro, he wants us to get to the fucking club right now. And I'm like, maybe I'll go do some boxing matches. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it. And they're like
4 hours later.
Yeah. And then my crew is like, you can't fuck this up, bro. If we don't get there by 11 p.m., he's not going to fuck with us anymore. Because, you know, it's all about gangs and shit like that. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck our jobs. What if we didn't work? I don't know. So like, things like that just kind of feel like really, really distraught. Like you said, you'll completely forget that you're like looking for your father in the middle of the wasteland because you're over there playing craps with a fucking ghoul in the basement somewhere. Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah. That feels weird. So I don't know. I like a good side quest that still feels like it like flows directly into like, okay, I'm learning more about the space and area that I'm in, or I'm like,
for sure,
furthering a relationship with one of my colleagues or crewmates or something, like things like that. I think are the most
I think those
impactful.
are the best side quests. I like to call them like story extenders. They enrich the overall experience, and whether it's revisiting areas that you previously like unlocked and like accomplished, and you like in Kingdom Hearts, you kind of complete all these areas, and then you get a chance to go back to a dozen of them if you want to, but you don't really have to. But it kind of feels.
You're right. Because when you first said Kingdom Hearts before we recorded, I was like, "What the fuck side quest are you talking about?"
It kind of feels like it's just like a part of the game, though. Like you don't even think of like, like it's Sora. If you want, you can like go back and hang out with Aladdin. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna go see what's up with Aladdin. Like, why would I not? And then Mass Effect and Dragon Age, just hanging out with your crew and like helping them like through their therapy and stuff like that. It's just so rich.
Yeah,
can't get enough of it.
That's a really interesting thing about those games specifically. Is what Dev was going to talk about with the squad kind of situation, where it's like, yeah, you can totally just like not talk to your crewmates ever and play all the way through Mass Effect and that just be whatever. But you'll miss such a strong part of like what makes that game so interesting, and that's kind of like the world building, because it's just so interesting to like, I don't know if anyone that's played Mass Effect, you meet the big fan. The guy that's like, oh my God, fucking Commander Shepard, I love you. And that's a really stupid quest. It's not really a big side quest, and not much happens. Probably like 2 hours total, if even, maybe 1 hour total. The whole situation of his like story arc among the three games. But it's so interesting in kind of the world building, because it kind of helps you learn who like Commander Shepard is, and you can kind of make who Commander Shepard is, because when you first meet him, you have a choice whether you want to be really nice to him and like sign his autograph, or be a really big dick. And it's easy to be a really big dick because he kind of sucks and he's kind of annoying, so you want to be mean to him, but that affects what happens to him later, which is really interesting. It's like, that's such a small interaction that you have that you wouldn't think anything of, but it actually has a pretty big consequence that even leads to him potentially being kind of on your team at the end of the series, end of the trilogy. So
yeah, all the Mass Effect games have such like a heavy way to tie in like the main decisions and the side decisions into the end of the game well.
BioWare and Bethesda, they definitely want you to get to know your companions and people, and that's great. And it helps the world building too. It makes it more immersive, because you give some people actual real personality. I think the Mass Effect crew is one of like the most well written crews I think I've ever, maybe the best one I've played in that kind of RPG. So all of them are memorable, and you get attached to them, and then when consequences happen to them in a bad way, sometimes you feel bad, like in Mass Effect 2, if you do the wrong stuff at the end, man, you can lose a lot of people. I think that first playthrough I lost like 3 or 4 people. It was like, oh God,
shit.
like
you cannot see Mass Effect 3 if you really play it wrong.
Yeah, true. So
damn.
Yeah.
So before we get into more titles, I had 2 other possible types of side quests. Another one that I like a lot are like all the hidden bosses in games.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts,
Kingdom Hearts,
good hidden bosses.
And Final Fantasy, I feel like both of those, Square Enix just has like a really good way of handling bosses and hidden bosses, but. I know God of War also has like hidden bosses with the Valkyrie.
Yeah, I was gonna say God of War was gonna be on my list for that. Yeah,
I'm usually not good at beating any of the hidden bosses. Hidden bosses tend to usually be like harder than the final boss.
Hard.
Yeah.
There's a couple in the OG Final Fantasy VII game that are like sprinkled in throughout before you fight Sephiroth.
Yep.
That are like, okay, this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
I actually rate that pretty high. I love a secret boss. Usually
for sure.
Look really cool. They usually have the coolest music for no reason. Find a secret bosses.
And a lot of times it'll be like you're really not expecting it. Like, and the game just kind of jumps in on you. It's like, wait, and then you see the boss bar come up and say, shit, like, oh no.
Yeah.
I was just trying to loot a chest or something. Like, fuck, I gotta fight for my life. The door locks behind you. Oh no. Not good.
Yeah. Can you guys think of any other good or bad or terrible versions of side quests? I feel like we might have covered them all.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have the story side quests, we have the boss side quests, we have the collection, the fest quest bullshit.
Wait, honorable mention though before we get too far away from the hidden bosses in Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
if you remember,
great,
like from 2004
from the movie. That was an amazing Spider-Man movie.
It was a great game. Great
was so good.
Game. It's so fun to run around New York City. But there's one point where you can fight Mysterio, and he's just like.
I was about to say, is it the Mysterio one? Yeah.
And when he goes up, his health bar has like the bosses would have like different levels.
Was he like a one-hit guy?
So yeah, like he has like 5 health bars like load up, and then you just punch him once, and he just instantly dies. Like it was so hilarious.
That was wild.
I was tripping out. I was like, oh god, like he's gonna kick my ass, and then you just punch him once, it's over.
I thought my game glitched because I didn't really know too much about Mysterio lore at the time and how he's like.
Well, yeah, because he was that one was a fake one. He was
he's
just
a man.
It was all illusion. Kind of like the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Kinda like the movie.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. That's good.
But yeah.
I don't know if I can think of any other types of the side quests.
Oh, mobility ones where like you have to like beat a certain track with.
Race side quests. No, fuck that. Fuck that.
I feel like Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man games in general do all of these types of side quests. And they're usually so much more fun. Like, I don't mind doing a fetch quest in Spider-Man because it's just so much fun to just zip around town.
Yeah, yeah.
And I will do the racing stuff in Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah, definitely depends on how fun movement is in the game. Like, a lot of times, like Assassin's Creed, it would just be like, you gotta chase a feather. Sometimes it's like, God damn it, like you'd fall off a building or something, and you're like...
that's literally, yeah, oh my God. Well, it didn't help, but that game is just so awful to run in most of the time.
Yeah. And you see
those ones
going up to the roofs, you're like, well, shit, there's no way.
It's even worse like when like they'll like put like a handy like ghost like as to see like what you need to beat.
To show you
and as soon as you see that fucker pass you by, it's like, fuck it. I quit.
I immediately think of the Hogwarts Legacy on that fucking stupid broom. Used to make me so mad.
Oh, real? Well, yeah. That doesn't surprise me that those are in there.
I feel like those are definitely high up there for my least favorite types of side quests and mobility.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, let's take some time and think about what are some of the games or maybe studios that handle side quests the best. Can you guys think of like some of the better games or maybe even some of the better like missions? We talked about Mass Effect being amazing already.
So to say, do you consider DLC side quests? Because honestly, it's not technically the main story. And I would say Mass Effect 3 has some of the best DLC. That's actually way better than the main story of that game, in my opinion.
So I've never played any DLC. Period.
That's right.
I've heard. Yeah. It's just games are already expensive. I don't have time, but I have heard how amazing the Mass Effect DLC is. But I have a question. In that game specifically, that DLC specifically, or maybe other DLCs, is it just one quest, or is it like the main quest of that DLC plus other side quests, or is it just like...
That's fair. It's a little bit the latter, but it's kind of interesting because like for example, Mass Effect 3, of course the main storyline is the fact that it's about to be the end of the world, you have to stop the Reapers or the whole universe is going to cease to exist. But then the DLC for Citadel is basically you want to have a party at this apartment that was given to you.
Yeah, that sounds like a waste of money.
That's such a like side quest thing, right? But it's kind of like a thing of like, we have some shore leave, this might be the last time we get together, so let's do something big for it. You know what I mean? It has no actual bearing in like what's happening in the main story.
That's very anime. Anime's got the biggest side quest. Oh my god!
Right? Oh my god! Right?
Given the overall tone of Mass Effect 3, it's a wild addition. But
that's crazy.
I say, quality ones, I think for me, just like on not specific examples, but there's there are plenty of really good examples from like Fallout and Witcher 3 especially.
Witcher 3 is really tough.
In the main quest, you have to make a lot of choices. That's like, okay, this option A sucks, option B sucks too. I kind of just got to pick which one sucks less. A lot of the side quests have that as well. Of like, as like you have to make choices, or it's like, I don't really love either of these options, but it's cool because it really irks you, right? So like Witcher has some really, really good memorable side quests. Also, like another type is like just a whole ass second game. Like Witcher, Gwent in Witcher, there was a time in Witcher where I just didn't give a fuck about finding Ciri, and I was just going to every tavern to play Gwent. Mini game side quests.
That's good. That's good. Card games.
Some of them go into like a really deep level of like, this is a whole separate game. They even made for that one, they made a whole app for Gwent. They made a whole game.
I remember I got really, really into playing poker on Red Dead Redemption in high school. I would just boot it up and go to the bar and play poker for a couple hours.
Like it was like real life.
making a, like in game $100 maybe. I'm like, that's not really that much money in the game, but like, I don't know why. It was just like, it's like, damn, maybe I should play the game. I don't know.
Maybe I should just get into poker.
It's just hilarious when you're playing a game and then you're taking a break from playing the game by playing more of the game.
Yeah.
Like a game within a game. It's just very crazy.
That's really funny.
They put so much effort into it.
I think Larian Studios, Divinity Original Sin 2, and probably Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played it yet, but I know Alex has put some time into it. That's a game that can get really deep into some side quests that it's like, you've just told a whole like full-fledged video game story. And that's just one fucking quest. I'm still supposed to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like Divinity Original Sin 2, I remember following this dog because you get this perk that I think you can get Baldur's Gate as well, where you can actually talk to animals. A perk you can 100% don't even have to take. It's like not something that you have to get. They ended up in the definitive edition making it so everyone could have it, just so you could see more interesting parts. Because some of those storylines could be so heart-wrenching, and you just completely missed them. And one of them had to do with this dog. I forgot what his name was, but you end up finding out that he had a little love, and what happened to her. And then you go through the story of like going through this dungeon and all these other things, and then you find his little mate. And she had little puppies, and it was a whole little thing. And it was like that story was like 4 hours long, and it was just to find a dog's girlfriend. And it's like, why the fuck did I do that? I'm glad I did. It was a great time, and it's told a great story. But it's kind of like, why did I just do that?
Yeah.
And I like those kinds of stories. I don't know. That's always
nice.
fun to me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the more random, the better, huh?
Yeah, the more random and just the more just deep they are for no reason. I was like, you didn't have to write that.
True. Yeah, the writers were just having a day, I guess.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate's definitely got a lot of great side stuff. Similar to Mass Effect and BioWare, like just the bonding with your companions and taking them on their own personal adventures and conquests. It's very, very, very rich.
Yeah, and the Bethesda ones are just fucking random because you'll just be walking down the street and they'll be like, "Hey, we're actually a bunch of ghouls that own a pool hall and we also have a brothel. Would you like to hang out at our brothel? We fuck each other." And it's like, I'm just looking for my dad, but I guess.
Hey, we're a bunch of people and there's a talking tree here. Do you want to set this tree on fire or not?
And you're like, yes. I don't like the way he's looking at me. Fuck him.
I like to think
hey,
of
we're a bunch of children that are just have a commune of just children. It's just children. Maybe we'll let you in this. Maybe we won't.
There's one really big one. He's still a child, though. And it's just a man with autism, and it's like, oh,
oh shit.
Okay.
No. Jesus.
I like to think of the physics in the Bethesda games as being their own side quests and just like playing around with what crazy wacky shit you're not supposed to do.
Or how broken stuff gets because of the freedom. Like, I love how you can just like, at any moment, if you're just not feeling it, you can just like kill the main person that gave the quest if they're being shady, or you can like, like I did that the other day in Fallout. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this quest line.
Yeah.
But like, I think I went into Nuka World now, which was like, I guess, a DLC. And it's like, oh, you're going to be a raider now. Like, you're going to be the leader of the raiders. And I was just like, nah, and just literally walked away. Like, just fast traveled out of there.
You would really like probably Baldur's Gate then, because that takes it even further, where you can kill every single person in the game. Everybody can die in that game. So you can just completely ruin whole quest lines because you're just like,
right.
Actually, I'm not feeling it. And then it's just a whole.
And there's actually, you mentioned earlier, Brian, wanting your side quest to feel more real and like have some weight to them. And if you don't do things at a certain time. In Baldur's Gate 3, if you don't do things, like if you don't do things in a certain order or in a certain amount of time, because you can go to bed, which you have to do to like regain health and stuff like that. And depending on what's going on, like if there's a building on fire and you like go to bed,
you take a nap about it.
Yeah, the building has burnt. That's a wrap.
It's gone.
That's a wrap.
Shit, I thought I had 8 more hours. Fuck.
If you go outside of this area and then come back, like these events are going to be different. Like time has passed.
That's so stressful though. Like I don't like time.
That's incredibly stressful.
It always makes me feel like I'm failing. Like I like it's like
it usually does. It usually does a really good job of letting you know. Like they don't like leave. Like they're just like whatever. So you don't have to like pay that much attention. It's kind of right like pretty obvious stuff.
I love that because I'm a big person on not saves coming. I like my decisions to be like, well, if I fucked up, I fucked up. That's my decision, and I think that's really important for side quests too, where people, when you're bombed fucking Megaton City, and you're like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Well, maybe don't be a psychopath, and maybe Megaton City would still exist. Sorry.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't the save scummer, but
you gotta live with that decision. Unless it's like really like I thought I was making a different decision completely and then I wasn't.
Yeah,
that pisses me off. The Witcher
I kind of pick and choose. I kind of pick and choose when I want to and when I don't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which reminds me, we're talking about Bethesda. Another type of side quest I don't think we talked about. Something that I like doing in games. It's not really a structured side quest. But similar to how we all enjoy playing Bethesda games, how I like playing the new Zelda games, and it's just like an open sandbox, and especially Grand Theft Auto, where you can just kind of do whatever the hell you want, is just do whatever the hell you want. Like there's no structure, there's no rules. You just here's these parameters and these things, and you can just play. And you can see what happens.
I was about to say that's the original.
I think that was the best part of the last Metal Gear Solid game.
Oh,
was it 5?
Yeah, 5. Yeah,
yeah. It was just the very openness of it, and you can just kind of like play around with the tools, and like every mission was like a puzzle, and you could just solve it however you wanted.
Oscar probably remembers this story. Do you remember when I played Fable 3? And I was going a good playthrough, and then I decided that I wanted to do, everyone's favorite, the Grand Theft Auto effect, where you just go in and just start fucking around, right?
So
I'm just beating up people and everything and just killing everybody. And then the game autosave. Because that game doesn't have its
Always
own
check
save
your
feature.
autosave, friends. Always check your autosave.
Fable only autosaves. So I ruined my entire playthrough, and I've been playing that game for probably at least a month.
At the very fucking end.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Autosave is a good way to protect people from save scumming. I know that was one thing that I was really excited about in the Star Wars online game. What's it called?
KOTOR?
Old Republic?
No, the Old Republic. It's like KOTOR, but it's a little bit more modern mechanically, and it's like an MMO. But it's made by BioWare. But there, it's an MMO, so there's no save scumming. It's just like everything's permanent.
You gotta do it. You gotta live with your bad decisions.
Fable, they wanted you to live the consequence of your actions. So that's like,
yeah.
I didn't. I restarted the whole game over and played all over again.
Shit.
Yeah, you gotta finish it at that point.
Sure. Fucking no, bro.
That's hilarious.
That's too much. It did remind me when we were talking about Bethesda about that Starfield situation that I had, a game that I never beat because it actually wasn't that much fun. But the beginning was very fun because I told you guys a story pretty early about what happened to me. Where there was one time that I was just hanging out on this, remote planet or whatever, and there's this little civilization, and I was kicking around a soccer ball that like these kids were like, "Hey, give me back our soccer ball." And I was kicking it around, and then I accidentally stole it. And then it sent me on a 4-hour side quest because they put me in jail and then made me a mole for the fucking Raiders.
Oh, wow.
So I just had to I had to complete that before I could get back out because they were just like, "You're going to fucking jail. You stole the soccer ball." And I'm like,
all right.
I didn't think that was going to matter so much, but it just took me on such a wild, so far away from what I was doing. And I was like, that's really interesting, actually, that it did that because it forced me to do it.
But that kind of stuff is what makes games like that phenomenal.
Exactly.
It's so personal. Like nobody else might have that same experience, right? Like that's what makes Bethesda games especially like that. Because a lot of games everybody can do the same side quests. Like Assassin's Creed, everybody's pretty much going to follow the same path. It's just a matter of how many of them you do. But games like Bethesda and stuff is like you really can have these very unique stories that that your character had nobody else has, and I love that about these games. Like it's just so much fun.
I think that's what I have so much fun with those games. For like Skyrim, for example, that's why it has so much replayability.
Oh, yeah,
especially when you don't know what
absolutely.
triggers certain events. I'm sure everybody remembers. Well, if you played a big amount of Skyrim, you probably remember that there was this mean old lady that ran like a foster home or whatever, and like you would meet this kid that he was like trying to like summon demons to come and kill her, and you'll talk to him or whatever, and you can talk to him at any point in the game. So you might be on a complete, main quest to go beat Fao Dukun, the dragon, whatever the fuck, and then you just meet this kid, and he's like, "Yeah, my grandma kind of sucks. Fuck her. You can kill her." And when you kill her, it's just kind of like, oh, all the children cheer or whatever, like, yay, and then you just go about your business. Then you go to bed, and next thing that happens is you get fucking kidnapped.
The assassin.
And you go on a whole fucking side quest.
Yeah.
But the fact that it can happen at any time in the game, you just not know that event triggering. You just be like, yeah, I killed this old lady because she said you sucked. And then that was it. I went about my merry business.
They trigger by going to bed.
Yeah, and then that triggers a new event, and you're just like, oh, fuck. I thought I was going to go, finish the game or something. I got to deal with this shit.
Yeah, I never got to the Assassin's Guild. I usually don't go to sleep in games that I don't, unless it's like a requirement.
Which is crazy.
So that's bad.
You can get blackout drunk, and that'll have a whole side quest from it. Things like that. Just little things in that game are just so interesting. It's just like, who would have thought those are the things that would like make these events? Because it's not like Assassin's Creed where you walk up to a man and go, "Hey, Picasso, I would like to collect 3 pictures for you."
Some are more linear, and some are like you can do whatever you want, which is makes the world more complete. These open world games, you gotta have it.
No, that reminds me. There was one I will say, like, again, this is why this game is so memorable to me. It's God of War Ragnarok. There is one point in this game, and it's towards the tail end, and it's like everything's coming to a head. It feels like you're going to get to the, this is the climax. You're about to shit's about to go down, and then without any spoilers, they throw in a completely optional whole section that you can just completely miss if you don't go do this one side quest. If you just go do this, go to this marker and go do this, you will miss an entirely, because I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with both the new God of War games, this and Ragnarok, but it's very like hub based. They have like little hubs. It's not like open world, but it's like open zone sort of. You can completely miss an entirely ginormous open zone in this game and beat the game, and you can come back to it after you beat it, but you can completely miss it, and it's like, that's crazy. Incredible. Like, getting there is incredible. It being there, this is a world where you can fight dragons. It's just like it's ridiculous that they completely put this as an optional section, and it was just such a cool reveal for it to happen. Because there's like it added a good 6 hours to my play of that game. I was like, I'm about to win, let's go, and I'm like, it was just like super cool. And then like it creates like dialogue for you if you've done it before you get to the game, because it's like you'll meet a character that you will see later on, type of shit, like stuff like that.
That's crazy.
And so I love stuff like that. That was a fucking highlight.
On that note, I have a question for you guys. Do you, when it comes to side quests in games that allow you to keep playing after you finish the main story, so like Witcher,
I love it.
God of War Ragnarok, I love it. And Skyrim too. Skyrim is the example. I cannot motivate myself to keep playing the game after I finish the main story. So I have to do all the side quests before I pursue the main story, because once you for me, just the tension is gone, I guess. And I just I beat it, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
I want to know how you guys handle that kind of thing.
I'm pretty similar with that, unfortunately. I also just don't I never really, after elementary school, I never really rewatched movies. Like I have like a few favorites that I'll rewatch, but after I see a movie once, maybe twice, that's kind of it. And it's kind of the same way for games, except for like a very, very small few. Mostly because the games just take so long and I have so little time.
But I'm saying like after you've beaten the main boss, right?
For sure.
The main story's over, but you still can explore the world and do the side quests, like Oscar said. Like, I just can't bring myself to keep playing the game after, because it's like at some point
I get that.
Peter out,
I will say though, I agree with you, Devin, but you know me, I'm a completionist, so I will do everything I can before that point. But I love it when a game gives you more after you beat it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I will say. Like, God of War Ragnarok is one of those games. It's one of the like cool little secrets that happen, is that after you beat the game, like, you can beat everything, and after you beat the main story, it unlocks more stuff for you to do, and cool. Like story stuff to wrap up the rest of these little plot lines that they didn't like get to, they'll finish that stuff, and you can only do it once you beat the main story.
I see.
That is shit that I love, because I hate it when a game just ends and it's just like, oh, that's it. It's like, wait, what happened to these? I want to know more of this world. What happened to these characters post this a gigantic cataclysmic event type of thing?
And you always kind of like, I think for a few games I've thought about it. It's like, okay, where am I going to leave my character? Because I'm never going to, see them again. So like Witcher, Witcher, you can like, one of the big add-ons is like, I guess Hearts of Stone. You literally can get like a retirement villa in like this really nice area. And so I think I was very intentional about, and they kind of knew, like he broke the fourth wall a couple times in that one. It's like kind of a send off for Geralt. And I think I was very intentional about like the last time you have like this party with all your friends and they come, and I like went to like this bench, and I think you talked to Siri depending on what you had her do, or like Yennefer or somebody, and you just like sit on this bench like with this nice view and stuff. And I'm like, then that's it. His story ends here, and like just like turn it off. It's quick save. I'm done. Never to pick it up again. But you could keep playing forever.
Right.
Like
right.
So
it depends on the side quest. Story-based side quests I got to do before the end. But then
sure.
if there's like boss beating stuff like that, I'll just do that probably afterwards. Like I did that with Final Fantasy VII Remake, where like I don't even know if you had known, Oscar, where you talked about it, that you could like go back and fight those people from the Yuffie DLC in the little training room thing.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Yeah. Once I found I could do that, I'll do like a lot of those challenges and stuff like that. But I'm not going to go back and fucking.
Those suck.
I don't know. Yeah, they were really fucking hard. But
those ones I don't mind like going back and do, because there's no story element.
Exactly.
Although some of them there is some of them in that Final Fantasy stuff. But like for the most part, whenever that happens, it's just like you're just beating a boss. You're just clearing a checkpoint, like basically. Yeah. So that one I don't mind.
Gotta do the story ones before the end of the main story.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. Yeah, brain.
Yeah, because of the brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So side quests are such a huge part of, I feel like, all games. They used to be mostly RPGs, but I feel like you can't make a game now without having side quests. Can you guys think of any games that don't have side quests, or that just have side quests that are completely skippable, like not worth your time?
I mean, I guess like games that don't have side quests, I would go to a game like a Last of Us. Like I think that is pretty much a single player, or like an Uncharted. Like there's obviously like there's collectibles in those games, but I wouldn't consider that as much as sidey, just because it is so linear in its storytelling.
It's very story driven. Yeah.
What about the guitar? The guitar's a side quest.
I mean, I was gonna say Halo until the most recent one. One tried to add side stuff. Halo's usually a streamlined experience. We just go from level to level.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a game that had, because there's many games that don't have side quests, but it's like
I was just like Pong. Pong's the only one I could think of.
Yeah,
for a game that has side quests that aren't worth playing,
that might be an easier question.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Damn,
I was about to say some of them are not that worth it. Some of them are not worth it.
There's some stuff that was interesting, but a lot of it.
I feel like the original Assassin's Creed had some of the worst side quests that I.
That shit is so
trailing, frustrated, and like I was being. It was like a chore. Everything.
That's why I don't know why people like Assassin's Creed. A lot of it usually is a chore.
The first game was like a proof of concept, but after Assassin's Creed 2 was awesome.
I thought it was just as chory.
I agree with Devin.
That Assassin's Creed is definitely it deserves its place in gaming for sure.
That was peak Assassin's Creed was 2 in Brotherhood. That was peak.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I know. I know.
He said 2 and 3 are peak. There's like 8 of them.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I know.
Don't like where I've just not had any interest in deviating from the main path. But honestly, though, if you do that, if it's like an adventure game where you don't want to explore the world, you're probably not going to really pick that game up anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
A while ago, I was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I remember maybe a year or two ago when I first got it, I was really excited, and I told you guys all how the side quests are so stupid and most of the quests. But I didn't really mind because the whole game was so cute and like silly. But after taking some time away from it, playing other games and trying to come back to it, because I just really want to just finish the game, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do any of the side quests. I'm just going to do the main quests, and I had a really hard time. The game is just it just really drags you along real slowly with lots of dialogue that you have to just mash the X button on. The big set pieces are super cool, and some of the combat is fun. But I was like, oof, I don't. After I put it down that one night, I don't know.
That's our next topic. Why do anime games suck?
Ooh, not bad.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, the first one that came to mind in terms of the games where the side quests aren't really worth playing, and this is a game that I do truly love, and there probably is, because I'm mixing up whether or not this was a main storyline or a side quest. It might have been a side quest, but it felt so integral to this main plot that I can't remember. But the Horizon games, mainly the first one, a lot of the side stuff. Granted, the combat does kind of save it because it's fun, and I remember it being fun. But I also remember like none of it really mattered, at least to me, that much. Like the characters were not very well fleshed out. They were pretty kind of boring. Like, yeah, they just weren't. Again, the combat is what saved it. But like as far as the story of these side quests, again, yeah, it was like some of the side quests that we just hate. It's like go up here. Oh, what a surprise! There's a monster, a robot dinosaur you have to fight. You have to get this part. You got to bring it back to this person. A lot of that shit where it's just like none of this really mattered all that much. But again, it's one of those games where if the combat was worse, it would not be worth it.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, another example to build on Oscar's point is Anthem. Anthem was like such a bland.
You played Anthem? Holy
I
shit!
did with my brother, and there were moments. Cool. It had moments, but
I played the demo, and I was like, "This is almost a lot of fun."
It was
yeah, that's what that game feels like.
Flying around was cool. Yeah. Like the combat was really cool, but like the story and the world were just like so not memorable at all. But so Anthem would be a good example of like this is not worth exploring. I think my brother and I, like when we played it, we didn't finish it, but we were at a point where like we're just gonna do the main story. Like let's just do the main story.
Let's just blow stuff up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's sad though because Anthem could have been really cool. Like I feel like it could have been up there with like it because they were trying to copy, Iron Man. Like they were trying to make it like Destiny, and it could have been as good, I think, if not better. But the world just was not aging, and just wasn't worth exploring.
It's another half-baked idea, kind of like Andromeda was, and then almost tanked BioWare. BioWare almost ceased to exist because of that game's failure.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Glad they survived.
Yeah.
So it turns out if the side quest is bad, the game might also be bad.
Right. I think that's a fair statement.
That's like Fallout. I mean, who cares? Like, I'm just exploring, and exploring is like what the beauty of that game is.
I don't give a fuck about my dad. I'm here to find vampires under the subway.
Oh shit!
Right. Man, when that first happened, when I popped up and there were just fucking vampires chilling underground, I was like, "What the fuck? What is this? What's going on?" I love that game. It's so fun.
So I think this brings us to our last little topic about side quests. And something that I wanted to explore is the idea of side quests in our real life. And what are side quests in our real life versus main quests in our real life? If we know that side quests in video games help us level up our character, I feel like side quests in real life equipped us for completing and achieving our main goals in a similar way. I feel like a lot of times, especially in like American capitalistic media-focused society, people tend to focus too much on chasing after like the idealized perfect job, partner, home, etc. And we miss out on the magic that happens along the way. And, beyond that, having those unplanned experiences, going on vacation, having a picnic in the park, whatever, just living. Those experiences help us find what we ultimately want. All those little side things that we decide to do. So I think that's a part of what makes games so fun, and also what makes life so fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't do any side quests. I only do the main quest. I go to work and then I go to bed, and that's all I do.
But you just got back from vacation, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I did take a side quest there, and look what happens to me. I got fucking sick. No more side quests for me.
Sunburnt and sick.
Yeah, I got all these fucking debuffs on me now, bro. I didn't gain no experience.
No way.
Didn't level up one time. Come on, man.
On. You
This
gotta
sucks.
be kidding me. You had a great time.
You leveled up in perception.
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
Perception of the world.
Then took two debuffs of ailments.
I mean, it happens.
Took
you lost
8 sun
HP.
damage.
You lost a little HP. You get home.
Need a little potion. You be okay.
Well, what do you
think?
You said you work in stuff, but is work a main? Is work a main quest or a side quest? What are your guys' main quests?
Yeah, I guess it depends on
work is farming. Work is money farming.
Yeah, that's
farming
true.
for experience.
Yeah,
but for some reason it takes up most of your time.
It does.
Sometimes it's just money, dude. Like honestly, sometimes it's just to get that money up.
For sure. I feel like in society, society wants work to be our main quest.
Yes.
But I feel like it shouldn't be. And if it is, then
it shouldn't be. But we live in a society where we need that to be a main priority of our life so that we can have the fun side quest.
Priority, yeah. Survivability,
I was going to say, our main quest is that one level of Halo Reach where it just says, mission updated, survive.
The elites are coming down. The elites. Inflation. Yeah.
Well, what about you, Devin? We all know you love soccer. With soccer,
that's definitely a side quest. Yeah,
Devin is Mr. Side Quest.
Our side quest. I've recently
you might be the king of side quests. Yeah,
you really are.
I've volunteered in my community. I've done stuff like that. But you definitely there's more. I think I was raised in a way where I forgot. Well, not raised, just where I grew up. I didn't know of all the side quests that are out there. But the older I get, the more I realize you can get involved as you want to get involved in all kinds of things in your communities. So
you can just do stuff.
You can just do stuff. You can there's all kinds of volunteer opportunities out there. People always need help, right? And it can be environmental. It can be for students. It can be, all kinds of social causes. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get involved in your community. And you can get involved in your local government too. You can go, they have the town meetings. You see the clips. You can go and just comment about what you feel about local politics. You can do that. A lot of crazy people do it, but you could also be the voice of reason that helps, let them know that they're making the right decision on stuff too, or the wrong decision. But you know what I mean? So there's always more to do in our real lives. But I think, side quests. Okay, well, here's a quote I thought I have for you guys. Is maintenance stuff, like groceries, car maintenance, stuff like that. Does that count?
Easy fetch quest.
Those are fetch. I guess those are fetch quests.
Bullshit.
Because you got it. Because in most games, you don't have to get stuff to keep a lot, being alive. But here, you got to get food. You got to.
Yeah, we play on survival mode. Unfortunately, we play Rust.
That's a lot of survival.
Yeah.
That's a lot to say. We got to do a lot to survive. If surviving is our main quest, we got to do a lot of shit just to do that.
There's a lot of grinding, a lot of farming.
Yeah. There's a lot of dots on this quest line.
Yeah. There is.
It's pretty funny because actually, as an ADHD haver, which I'm sure Devin can commiserate with a little bit, in order to make things a little bit easier for me when it comes to getting tasks done, because I suck at it. I actually do write down in my notes app. I write down what I have to do, and I call them quests. And I call them.
That's cool.
Very nice. And I definitely have a things to do note in my note app as well.
The things to do felt too real. So instead, I started.
That's good. I like that. I have.
You should add XP pages to it.
I was gonna at one day. I got my main quests and I got my daily quests. And those are the things that I do.
I have about 20 different pages of different to-do lists, like need to do now, need to do one day, need to do in the future. And I usually don't do any of them. But I like the idea of calling them quests. I might be achieving.
It makes them a little more interesting than my brain will. It'll scratch my brain differently.
Yeah,
no, that's fair.
Yeah, but I think the main quest is becoming a better person, right? But I think for us, a side quest that we really should learn from video games is investing in our relationships with our family and friends, right? That is,
he cooked with that one.
Having extra
get them,
but having those extra conversations with your friends and family. We're more connected now than we've ever been. I mean, we're more disconnected, but we're also more connected. So, I find myself often I should just call this friend. I should just call my sister, just whatever. And
you were the king of that, though. Yes. I love that about you. You were the king
cool person.
of the random show up, random phone call, everything. I love it.
Yeah, that's what life really comes down to at the end. The people, the relationships you have, and your relationship with yourself. Did you improve it? Did you improve the people around you and yourself? That's the main quest. The side quest is how you choose to do that.
Yeah, our relationships might be the story extender, the peak of the cream of the crop of side quests. Like if you gotta work on your relationships before you finish your main quest.
Actually, I took the Lone Wolf perk, so I get more experience.
I actually get double XP if I'm by myself.
if I travel without a party. So sorry, guys.
To each their own, I suppose.
Yeah. He's got a companion pet though.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I had to talk to animals perk. So actually,
yeah,
gotta work on that.
That's what's up.
No, I mean, I like that. It's a very interesting way to describe it, and because I don't know what I don't know if any of us can define exactly what the main quest is.
Yeah, that gets down to life's purpose and all that kind of.
Yeah, we're getting philosophical for sure.
Yeah,
that's gonna be existential.
If we're all just being like programmed like animals, it just boils down to like surviving.
True.
Right?
Surviving.
Yeah. This podcast is definitely a side quest.
But it's a great one.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think life is really all about side quests, though. When it all comes down to it, if you're not doing some side quests, you're not really living.
So basically, what you're saying is we all are in a Bethesda game. The main quest is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
I put a lot of points into some random places, and it's been going okay ever since. So.
It's been going.
It's like they say: get busy doing side quests or get busy dying.
Yeah.
That's a new shirt, right?
Get busy dying.
We all start when we first come out. It's all a little janky, a little buggy. It's still a little buggy even after some patches, But that's how it goes.
Well, that's the thing, man.
Who would have thought Bethesda was the best metaphor for life?
I think that's one of the reasons I struggle in some things in real life, because a lot of times there's no, like in the game, you always have a clear directive. Like I know exactly where to go to meet this person. I know exactly what they're going to tell me. It's all in my journal, right? It's all in my quest journal. Real life is not so easy. You got to like kind of define your own side quests and directions, and you don't know where they're going to be, right? You don't know who to go to sometimes. But you do
no saves coming either. No saves coming.
Yeah, that's the toughest part I think about it.
Yeah. No duo.
Man, if life had a fucking save point,
I can name a couple redos real quick.
I've got 0 points in intellect, and I've just been saying some wild shit that has put me in some crazy situations. So I'm gonna need to redo some of those. We got to go back to some earlier saves.
Damn, that's a question for another day. Where would you go back to?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. We'd have to censor that. We have to cut some names out that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fun. That's great. I love that. This is a great topic.
This is a great topic.
Yeah, hell yeah, guys.
I had fun.
Thanks for joining me on this quest.
Hell yeah.
We got to do a new side quest. We need a new hobby or something to get into.
Yeah. But with that, guys, shall we just rapid fire our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free for All, title pending segment. We can do whatever we want. Talk about life, take a nap, do a side quest, do the main quest. Don't matter.
Hey.
I will quickly go first because I ain't doing shit. But I did watch one thing that's been on the backlog. And I literally watched it in the background while I nearly fell asleep because I was very tired. But I was like, it's fine. I would just watch the fucking making of that Echo TV show that came out like 6 months ago.
Oh no!
Why did you do
it? Was on.
It
was on my watch list. I was like, I'm just checking boxes, Devin. I completed it. I was like, it was probably like 40 minutes.
Oh,
longer than the whole TV show.
Do you hate behind the scenes stuff, Devin? What's wrong?
No, but it's that shit. I mean,
was Echo
is
bad?
Anybody caring about that show?
I skipped it for sure.
Yeah,
I thought it was an enjoyable-ish. It was fine. It was better than Secret Invasion. I'll give it that, which is a low bar. But yeah,
was
it was
cool?
literally. I was like, I don't know what to watch. I want to
stuff.
watch something new, and I like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of checked it out.
What was the behind the scenes that they actually just made this shit up in like 30 seconds and made a show about it?
Yeah, basically. No, there's some cool stuff. They talk about some stunt work. They literally got into depth about the culture of the character and also the disability angle of it stuff. So there was pretty interesting stuff in there. It was cool, but I was also just like, yeah, it's fun. This show came out 6 months ago. I kind of forgot what happened.
Nice.
I meant to watch
Sounds
it, but I forgot.
Yeah. But that shout out to God of War Ragnarok. One of these days I'll finish Final Fantasy. That's the next side quest is to finish that fucking thing.
That's good. All right, well I'll go next. I got a fun one. I recently downloaded a new iPhone game, guys.
Let's go.
You know me.
Crap.
I love a good iPhone game.
No.
Uh-oh.
And I'm especially excited to share this one because I think Devin might be excited about it too. I don't know if you played it, but I feel like it's up your alley, Devin. Okay. It's called Squad Busters, which is
I've seen ads for this.
Yeah, I knew you.
Of course you have.
I've seen like real ads. They have Chris Hemsworth in the ads.
Yeah, I thought it was Chris Hemsworth.
Is that what that ad's been running around? I've been seeing all of just Chris Hemsworth.
They got a big media budget.
Describe it to because I know, dude, Supercell always makes the most fucking addictive.
Yeah, so it's made by the same people that make Clash of Clans
and Clash Royale.
Clash Royale. I don't know that one.
Oh, so don't download it. Do not download it.
This is a warning. Do not download it.
Don't.
I literally spent 8 straight hours on it one day. It was
my God.
bad.
Oh
it is
my God.
so addictive.
Yeah, you should definitely get this one, Devin, so we can talk about
it.
So it's basically the same little cute warrior icons from Clash of Clans, but
Boy.
You kind of roam around this area. It's like a death match kind of 3-minute long death matches with a bunch of people from all over the world playing online. And you kind of run around collecting coins and opening up treasure chests to get money, and you use your money to buy different characters that you unlock over the course of the progress or whatever. And the more characters you purchase during your 3-minute playthrough, the more powerful you can become and the more like different abilities you get. And then the only controls are running and running fast. And you run around and when you stop running, that's when you attack whatever is near you, whatever there be a treasure chest to open or a box or an enemy or like a robot play, like an NPC enemy. And it all gets you money, and you have to like beat up all the bad guys to get their money. And at the end, whoever has like most money wins, and then you get, I don't know, a bunch of flashy icons and treasure chests and like you did a great job type of like dopamine explosions on the screen. And it's great. It's good. It's a good time.
I absolutely, knowing Supercell, they definitely have wired it to hit your dopamine setting.
Yeah,
that's why I can't play those games, man. They get so scummy so quickly. Why can't it just be a normal video game?
Yeah, Supercell is the master of it. Like I've never played because there's all kinds of fun games out there. Supercell made Clash of Clans, which is like the first one. And the Clash Royale is like a card-based, like kind of rock paper scissors kind of combat thing, and you got to take out the other 2 towers of your opponent. It is so incredibly addictive. Like if you win, you want to play another one. If you lose, you just want to get back right into playing the next one.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. It's probably more similar to Royale than Clash of the Clans for sure.
I might.
It's very, very, very quick.
I might quickly delete it as well.
Yeah, you should. It's worth checking out for at least like a week. I've had it for a couple days and it's been a lot of fun.
You're gonna ruin this man's entire week.
Devin, again. Yeah, we ruined Devin's week.
7 straight days.
It's great. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. That's all.
Brian, you want to go or I can go?
Yeah, I can go real quick. I have spent so long since I've done this, so this movie probably isn't even in theaters anymore, but I saw a movie called Abigail a few weeks back.
Is it scary? It sounds scary.
It is a horror movie, yeah. And it is a movie about basically a group of ragtag people that were put onto a mission to kidnap some important person's daughter.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
This came out already? Shit.
Yeah, it came out, and it came and it went, and it was actually a decent movie. Which I was surprised. We just wanted to go see a movie in the movie theaters. It just happened to be out, so we watched some trailers, and I was like, oh, that one looks kind of interesting. Whatever. I thought it was going to be kind of a stupid horror movie, and it would be kind of like
Speaking
a miss.
of Giancarlo Esposito, isn't he in that?
He sure is in that movie, and he does great. He's not a huge part in it, but he's fun. He wears a suit, of course, because that's what he does.
I think he sleeps in a suit.
Yeah, but I would actually recommend this movie when I don't know if it's on streaming yet or if it will come out. It'll probably be on like a Paramount Plus or something like that, maybe HBO Max when it does.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Cool. I don't want to give away too many spoilers around it, but there is a horror aspect that you don't expect, I guess, originally when it has to do around with this little girl that's been kidnapped. That's supposed to be like a wealthy influencer's child.
It's kind of given away in the trailer, but yeah.
Is it? I wasn't sure.
I saw it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
cool.
I thought that was a really good movie, and I would recommend it to anybody that's into kind of horror-y stuff. And I don't know if you like. I don't know if anyone saw Megan. It gives that kind of vibe with this kind of like aesthetic and how it is. It's also
so just any horror movie with a little girl's name.
Yeah, but it's like one of those ones where it's like they're having fun with it, right? It gives that same vibe. Yeah. It was also Angus Cloud, who unfortunately passed away due to suicide. It was probably his very last role. He's in that movie, so.
Is that the guy from Euphoria?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god!
So, yeah, I didn't know that when I went out to go see it. I had no idea that he was in that movie, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go real quick and wrap us up. I just wanted to just give a little love song to Jedi Survivor. I'm playing that on my PC.
Oh hell yeah! I forgot to get a PC. Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Devin has really leveled up the video games lately.
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I'm in the modern era. But boys, my main thing I want to say about Jedi Survivor is, and first of all, it's a great game. Everything we were talking about.
Don't spoil the end if you've beaten it. I'm so close.
I've not beaten it yet. I think maybe I mentioned this on my other free for all. But what I didn't mention is that I think it nailed what combat as a Jedi should be like so perfectly because you're not a superhero. You can't just blow through everybody. But if you are very skilled and careful, you can like very much dominate every fight if you're smart. But it's like, so there's videos on YouTube of people doing like no damage, Jedi Survivor, like play like certain playthroughs and stuff. And it's really, it can be really cool to watch. The combat is so much fun. But I think it just nailed what, from the movies, like what being a Jedi should be in combat. Like you got to be a little cautious, but if you know the buttons and you know what you want to do, you can absolutely win every fight easily. But if you fuck up, you can get your ass kicked because you're not a superhero. You're a Jedi, right? You're a little bit better.
Can I do like Jedi Academy where I could probably win most fights with just a cheeky little force push? Because that's what I loved about that game. Damn it.
No.
Definitely some.
Yes.
Because that was always funny about it. Because you technically can't, because most people, all Jedi, could use those powers. So one thing that like a lot of them be like, haha, I blocked it, whatever. But if you catch them off guard, it'd be a really hard battle that you could just be like, oops, he slipped. And then you just
did you say Jedi Academy? Or
Jedi Academy, yeah.
Yo, I played that game.
That game fucking
it was one of the few PC games that I played. That game was really good.
I really enjoyed that game. I kind of
you can do that in certain parts. So Oscar, I don't know if how far you are, but there's one. I actually XP farmed for the first time I've ever done this. I just sat there for like 40 minutes and did this trick.
Oh wow!
To like get XP level up. But there's one spot where you can like pull down these two guys that give you like a third of a point every time you kill them, and then there's a save point right there, so you can just do it again. Like once a minute, you can do it. And so I did that just so I could get like all of them, the lightsaber styles that I like to use, and the like mind control elements, which I hadn't really invested in. I was like, all right, it'll cost like 10, 12 points, so I'll just do this until I can get that. And man, that is such a game changer because like. You can take
being able to control people is hilarious.
That sounds really fun.
It's incredible. But yeah, it's a really, really good game. I'm so impressed with it. I thought I saw some negative reviews, but
I know it had some issues.
It's fun
on computer where it's running a little shitty, but I'm sure they've patched that by now to make it run a lot smoother.
Yeah, the game's been out over a year now, or at least nearly a year now, maybe. Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll beat
great
that.
Star Wars game. I love it so much.
Final Fantasy ruined my life. I was like 40 hours into Jedi Survivor, and then Final Fantasy came out. I was like, sorry, bud. You're gonna have to sit on the shelf for a couple months. But no, yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, I will hopefully hop back into that game. It is quite a lot of fun. But you're absolutely right. The combat it's great. It's fun, and they upped this from the first one. But I'm not gonna lie, being just a Force Unleashed powers is dope. Anyways.
True.
All right, listeners, that is our show for the week. There we go. We fucking did it. You can email us at thefortress@gmail.com. Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any feedback, questions, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 Bollywood R's. Rate, review, and recommend us to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping out at the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITC_, by the way, Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin, find him Farming and Jedi Survivor for XP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally. XP fun.
Next week, I don't know. We'll do something fun. We got a couple weeks where we're going to be chilling. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. But yeah, so we'll be here either way. And as usual, happy holidays, and put a coat on. It's cold out there.
Is it? It's a little rainy.
Yeah.
It's a little rainy, but it's warm.
Fuck.
I'm ready for the summer to be summer. I'm sick of rain now.
It's been weird.
It's gonna be like 87 degrees. It's 89 actually.
Really?
Don't love that.
I love how we talk about the weather before we go with the podcast. All right, listeners, we'll see you here next week on another episode in the Fortress of